microphone now.
Rellana is so far my least favorite boss of the DLC. Or at least she was when I fought her. Bit of a disclaimer, I've already played through all of Shadow of the Erdtree to sort of record for my videos in bulk, so I'm gonna do my best to talk about this boss from the perspective of someone who just beat her. But in hindsight, she's not the worst boss I've ever fought. Definitely not in the DLC. There's one other. If you've beaten the DLC already, you probably know who it is. But regardless, fighting this boss made me incredibly angry, because I found out almost immediately that Rellana doesn't flinch from weapon attacks. Regardless of what weapon it is, I tried Ultra Great Swords, I tried Curved Great Swords, I tried all the weapons I have, but that wouldn't be too much of a problem. I mean, a lot of bosses in Elden Ring are like that. Elden Ring sort of suffers from a brick wall problem where none of the bosses respond to any of your attacks. So often it feels like you're just hitting them with toothpicks or throwing paper clips at them from a distance. Anyway, the reason why this is such a problem for Rellana is because on top of the fact that she doesn't flinch from attacks, not counting stance breaking, she's also incredibly fast, with speed comparable to Malenia, as well as her long-range swords and projectile attacks. And Malenia, in comparison, is incredibly fair and balanced, because while Malenia does have almost never-ending combos and crazy fast attacks and tons of damage, you can interrupt her moves with jump attacks or running attacks or anything like that. But you can't do that with Rellana. If you want to beat her one-on-one, you know, no summons, no spell spam or anything like that, then you have to learn the difference between all of her, like, 70 different sword attacks and the tiny, microscopic punish windows in between each combo string. And learning her attacks is, at least for me, incredibly difficult, because so many of her attacks either look the same or have almost unreactable startups, or have startups that are almost indistinguishable from one another, so you can't tell, you know, where to dodge or when to try and punish again. So really, your options are either to give up on the 1v1 and just summon, you know, Mimic here. I think Needle Knight Letta can be summoned outside her door, or just try to straight up outdamage her, you know, poise through all of her attacks and just kill her before she can do anything. Which, if you're using slow weapons, like if you enjoy Ultra Great Swords, that might be your only option, seeing as some of the slower weapons barely have enough time to get a single attack in the minuscule space between her combo strings. With that said, I think this boss is supposed to be a sort of Shadow Tree fragment check, kind of like, you know, Margit when Elden Ring first came out. He's supposed to be the first wall to stop you from progressing too fast and make you go explore the rest of the map to find better weapons to take him on and stuff like that. I think Rellana is the DLC's version of that, and in hindsight, I probably should have had more Shadow Tree fragments at that point fighting her, but as you can see, I pulled through anyway, through sheer spite and spite alone. But I still think that this boss isn't very well designed, at least with the 1v1 I want to do it myself players in mind. Maybe when I do New Game Plus again, I'll try and learn her solo, but I'm probably just going to end up summoning, because I just don't think she's very fun. Especially not in comparison to some of the other bosses in the DLC. That's all. Have a nice day.